Hello, my name is Alex Petrus, and my Pecha Kucha project is centered on whether or not the government should be allowed to wiretap the internet. Throughout the years, Americans have become dependent on the immediate gratification the internet allows. We enjoy freedom that comes with being able to browse thousands of subjects with the click of a button. We love having this massive amount of knowledge at our fingertips. We take pleasure in video chatting with our friends hundreds of miles away and allowing others a peek into our personal lives via Facebook and Twitter status updates. Our government has long had the capability to wiretap telephones and intercept messages sent by telegram, although I'm not sure anyone uses telegrams anymore, or snail mail. But government officials are now claiming that their ability to wiretap criminals and terrorists is becoming increasingly difficult. Because Americans have become so technologically inclined, the increase in communication via internet is much more common than just picking up the telephone or writing a letter. Government officials are claiming that they cannot ensure the safety of American people if they're not allowed the ability to serve websites such as Facebook and programs that offer direct messaging such as Skype wiretap warrants. These social networking sites and direct messaging programs include encrypted software, which allows for more privacy for the person using it. However, this also means that the government is unable to intercept and unscramble messages sent over these mediums. In fact, some of the developers of the programs are unable to unscramble the encrypted messages even if they are served wiretap warrants. There is a bill that the Obama administration plans to submit next year which will raise new questions about how the government will be able to balance the needs of security versus protecting the privacy of the American people. Obama does not want to hinder America's drive to innovate new ways to communicate, but he does want to make sure the government can do their surveillance if necessary. Americans should not be concerned about the government getting into their personal lives. Government officials state that they are not asking these sites and programs to allow the government complete access to all of their information all the time. They are simply asking that if the developers of these different social networking sites, email programs, and direct messaging programs make sure that if the investigators believe there was a cause for an inquiry, the developers would be able to oblige the wiretap warrant and allow the government access and the capability to unscramble these encrypted messages. Americans have been dealing with Big Brother for decades. Phone and broadband networks are already required to have wiretapping capabilities because of a law passed in 1994 called the Communications Assistance to Law Enforcement Act. These new developers, however, do not fall under the jurisdiction of the 1994 Act. Therefore, many of the developers still wait until they are served a warrant before they even begin developing a way to unscramble the messages. This inability to offer information to the investigators immediately can make it difficult and even impossible to prove that a person being investigated is doing something unlawful that may harm the public. When the government is asking is that these publishers make it possible for, if served a wiretap warrant, the government to unscramble encrypted messages sent over the social sites. Although many Americans may not be comfortable knowing that the government could get into their Facebook and see their Twitter updates, there is a point where one must realize that these efforts all reach the same goal, a safer, stronger America that our children can be proud of.